People who attempted suicide. What did you do on your last day? 1. I woke up, watched Buffy, ate pizza, called my brother, went to work, came home and watched the end of the series of Buffy. It may sound like a joke, but I got up after finishing Buffy the Vampire Slayer and went walking. I kept listening to Gangster's Paradise on my iPod until I reached the Aurora Bridge. I live in Seattle. If you know the bridge, you may know that in the last couple years they have built very high fences around it, but when I was there was just a small handrail. I walked to the middle of the bridge and looked down for a while. This part of the bridge was overland and not water, so I continued to walk until I wasn't above someone's yard. I was probably 100 yards before the end of the bridge. I stood looking over the railing for 10 minutes, maybe more. A man got off the 16 bus at the stop right before the bridge and walked toward me. He stopped beside me and asked if I was okay, and I didn't reply for a while. He just stood next to me for a while and just kept talking. He never stopped talking. He talked about the bridge and the bus and his family and about his work and chattered away for a solid 10 minutes. He asked where I lived and I told him. He put his hand on my back and coerced me off the bridge and onto a bus. He bussed me home and walked me to my front door. I never got his name, and I haven't seen him since, but he saved my life. I don't know that I would ever have killed myself, but that's the closest I ever came to it. A stranger saved me and I really hope he knows that. 2. I treated it like a normal day. I got up, went to school, came home and went for it. I tried to enjoy the last moments I had with friends. I wanted to tell somebody but decided not to. I didn't want to bring anyone down. The day before I wrote letters to those closest to me. On my last day, I left them on the kitchen counter, headed up to the roof and just stared down. It was around 9 p.m. so when I glanced down, I saw nothing. It was pitch black. My right foot hovered around the edge. Right when I was about to leap off I looked up. Across the street I saw a few people staring at me from their apartment window. This little girl though, her gaze caught my eye. She shook her head then covered her face. Because of her, I didn't go through with it. 3. My younger brother texted me early that morning in a really good mood saying what a great day it was going to be. Then he apparently went around giving out his stuff, buying people lunch and telling his close friends his bank info, etc. He wanted to make sure his friends were covered. I was at work so I didn't get the I love you Dragonflexo text until after he was in the hospital. The sad thing was when I read that text, I knew something was wrong. 4. My friend put on his Facebook the day before he did it. If you had one day to live, what would you do? The day he did it he went around to all of his close friends and just spent a little time with them, like a half hour. Just hang out and shoot shit as usual. Later that night he texted everyone goodbye. He drove down to one of our favorite smoke spots and obviously no one knows after that except him, but that's where 2 of my friends found him the next day.